All right, we are back and on track. We have our Master VLR. They're gridding up for their main event. Our Master drivers will compete for 18 laps. And this class is brought to you by Radical Northwest. Your pole sitter, cart number 714, on screen, that bright orange cart, the CRG. That's going to be Daniel Jones. Off pole, you're going to have that white cart, the Tony cart, cart number 725, Gorgeous George. Row 2, we have Scott Fermanic and Fred Clark. Row 3, Ian Sivjan, Michael Ting. Row 4, David Kale and Alexander He. Row 5, Kieran James, Dan Rivera. That's actually Uncle Dan Rivera. Let's see, row 6, we have Kyle Armstrong and Sherry Camilla. And rounding out our Master VLR class is Kyle Wisemer. So here come our Master VLR drivers coming down the main straight. We have a green flag. Looks like Jan Jones is going to have a little bit of an advantage going into one. I can't tell if that was Scott Fermanic. No. I'll know here in a moment once I can get a helmet. Looks like we lost a cart right there around that 4th spot. Looks like Scott's still on track running in 3rd. So Daniel Jones is your current race leader, followed by Gorgeous George and Scott Fermanic. And that looks like it's going to be Fred Clark and Michael Ting rounding out your top 5. Here's your race leader, Dan Jones. It looks like we lost cart number 758. That's going to be Kyle Nissimer. Earlier in the race, it looks like that might have been Ian Sivjan that we lost on that opening lap. That would have been cart number 728. And here come your leaders down the straightaway. And Gorgeous George goes purple. Gorgeous George goes purple with a 49.976. On screen, that's that first white cart there. White helmet, white bodywork. A little further back, we had a couple drivers going pretty wide. That was probably Michael Ting. So once again, this is our Master VLR class. This is our main event here at round number 8 at ROK Sonoma. We are running Reverse National, and the Master drivers will compete for 18 laps. Looks like Gorgeous George has a good run going down the straightaway. And further back, Michael Ting goes for a pass around Fred Clark. Michael Ting, does he make it stick? Looks like he made it stick. So Michael Ting is now in 4th place. And further back, that looks like it was Alexander Shee going for a pass around Kieran James. I'll have to double check that cart number when they come back around. And Gorgeous George went purple again with a 49.656. That's the second cart on screen here. No attempt is made for a pass there. Looking further back in the field. Looks like everyone's going into turn 1 single file. So our Master VLR class here at ROK Sonoma, a couple of years ago they had 0 entries. And a couple drivers got together They started communicating on whatever texting platform they use, and they started growing this class, a couple drivers at a time, but each race. So now the Master VLR class is one of the strongest fields here at ROK Sonoma. Again, this is a double-header race weekend. This is race number 8. Does Gorgeous George go for a pass? Gorgeous George, oh, he thought about it for a moment. So this has been one of the fastest growing classes here at ROK Sonoma. Most of the drivers get along pretty well. There's a pass right there. I believe that was Alexander Shee. And back to the front, your current race leader, Daniel Jones, on that CRG product. And we have Gorgeous George on the OTK product. So next time by, they'll have 12 laps to go. Now Daniel Jones goes purple on that last lap. Daniel Jones with a 49.634. So back to the story about Master VLR. Bottom line, if you're in a class and you want it to grow, tell your friends, get your friends involved, bring them out, find a class, make it sound exciting, get your friends out here. That's what these Master VLR guys did. And once again, this class is brought to you by Radical Northwest. Looks like right now Giorgio's comfortable just pushing Daniel Jones around the track. We got some racing action between Scott Bermanek and Michael Ting. Looks like Michael Ting made the pass stick. And once again, Gorgeous George does a 49.6. Right now, we're following Michael Ting, Scott Bermanek, and Fred Clark. Scott Bermanek's on the inside as they race up the hill. Are they going to give each other room? Oh, a little bit. Michael Ting was able to hang on the outside. So there's your battle for third between Michael Ting, Scott Bermanek, and Fred Clark. Michael Ting is on the GFC product, Scott Bermanek's on the OTK product, and Fred Clark is running the CRG.
Race leads too close.
And it looks like Daniel Jones just went purple with a 49.547. So Dan Jones is purple lap. The tag classes here at ROK Sonoma being VLR, both junior and senior. We got a guy, that's Scott Bermanek going way low, getting some cones, trying to make a pass on Michael Ting. Nothing there. Here comes Gorgeous George to the inside of Daniel Jones, come on the straightaway. Daniel Jones looks to cross him up. It's going to be a drag race down the main straight into turn 1. Let's see who's going to prevail going into turn 1. Dan Jones is on the inside. Looks like he's going to hold it going into the kink. Let's see if Gorgeous George goes to the inside, entering Monaco. And it looks like for the moment, Gorgeous George is going to have that position. So Gorgeous George is your new race leader. So he's driving a little defensively right now. Let's see if that's going to hurt his momentum coming out of tic-tac-toe going up the hill. Next time by the stripe, it's going to be 7 laps to go. And at some point on the last lap, Dan Jones went purple with the 49.547. Further back, we just caught a glimpse of it. Scott Bermanic made his way around Michael Ting once again. So there's a good battle for the lead between Gorgeous George and Daniel Jones. And there's a good race developing for third between Scott Bermanic, Michael Ting, and Fred Clark. So back to the front, our current race leaders, Gorgeous George, cart number 725. Six laps to go for our Master VLR class, brought to you by Radical Northwest. And there's third, fourth, and fifth for Bermanic, Ting, and Clark. So the gap between Dan Jones and Scott Bermanic, that's second and third, is approximately 5 seconds. So there's 2 distinct battles here on the track at the front, one for the lead and one for third. Our next class up here at ROK Sonoma is going to be ROK Shifter. ROK Shifter is going to be up next here at ROK Sonoma. On screen we have Scott Bermanic, Michael Ting, and Fred Clark. And now we pick up our race leaders, Gorgeous George and Daniel Jones. Five laps to go here at Master VLR. I'm sorry, 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. The laps are winding down here for our race leaders. Let's see if Daniel Jones is just going to wait till the last lap to make a move. They're coming up the hill. When they cross the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. Currently, your fast cart is going to be Daniel Jones, who's running in second. That cart number 714. And Daniel Jones pulls out going into turn 1. That was a beautiful pass by Daniel Jones. Waited to the last moment, popped out. Gorgeous George wasn't able to really counter back, but let's see what they do as they have 2.5 laps to go here in Master VLR. Brought to you by Radical Northwest. Oh, and Gorgeous George and Dan Jones are side by side coming on the straightaway. It's going to be a drag race. 2 laps to go. Gorgeous George makes a last second attempt. Cart number 763 is off track. Hopefully that doesn't get in the middle of the race coming up on them. So that looks like that was the cart of Kieran James. Dan Jones is bringing the drivers up the hill. There's going to be one lap to go. Let's see what Gorgeous George does here. And here's the battle for third between Michael Ting, Scott Permanick, and Fred Clark going into turn one. Looks like Gorgeous George lost a little bit of pace there. So Dan Jones has about a half a second lead over second place Gorgeous George. So Daniel Jones is coming up the hill for the last time here on race number 8, race day. So the win goes to Daniel Jones, followed by Gorgeous George. And it looks like Michael Ting, Scott Permanick, and Fred Clark are going to round out your top 5. So Master VLR main event brought to you by Radical Northwest. That was a good battle for the lead between Gorgeous George and your ultimate winner, Daniel Jones. And third place, Michael Ting had a spirited race with Scott Permanick and Fred Clark. An honorable mention to Uncle Dan Rivera. Picked up 4 spots in the main event to finish 6th. Next up, Pro Rock Shifter.